Namaste. So, we have the chariot of Jagannath Yatra today. So, what happens in Jagannath Yatra, the interesting part is, normally we go to the temple and meet God. But in Jagannath Rath Yatra, God comes out and meets us. So the king is coming to see his praja. Look at the symbol in another way. So what does the praja do when the king comes? So praja is ready with his demands. I want this, I want that. Very beautifully this has been symbolized in Tagore's poem in Gitanjali, that when he came and passed by my side, I had my list with me, but he came and asked me for something. And I felt very disappointed because I wanted to ask something. So finally, with great hesitation, I gave him a grain of rice. And I came with a heavy heart to my house. And when I put away all the rice on the floor, I saw one grain had turned gold. So it's a beautiful story about what we give to God turns into God-like substance. It that's the only thing which has its true value, realizes its true value. So we have on a similar tarj, on a similar vein, a beautiful poem of Aurobindo, The Dream Boat. Here also God comes and he knocks at our door and asks us, what does he ask? We are waiting, oh God will come, we are keeping awake with our list. But he doesn't ask all that. We can give him the list, or he says, you have an option. What is the option? Will you come with me? So when he asks this, we are not prepared because we have our list. We want to stay here in our comfort zones and want God to be at our service. Every year he should come, give us what we need. But here, God is coming and asking, will you come with me? Now this is the poem, The Dream Boat. Who was it that came to me in a boat made of dream fire? So this dream is something which is not yet realized, but it is in the process of realizing. It can be realized. So fire is indicative of that will which triumphs over everything. So dream fire. So it's a boat which is meant to realize the dreams of the divine in humanity. So it's a boat made of dream fire with his flame brow and his sun gold body. So again you see he's coming with the sun gold body is the final seal of destiny, is the supramental body. This is a ultimate truth. So whatever is uttered then is bound to happen. So he comes with his sun gold body, with his flame brow. Melted was the silence into a sweet, secret murmur. God is speaking. No loudspeakers. Look how Aurobindo describes. He doesn't need that. He loves to whisper. Maybe he's a little shy by nature. As Aurobindo said, God has always been a little bit of someone with a shy predisposition. He doesn't like to shout and say, I am God, I am God. If somebody is shouting he's God, stay 100 miles away. God doesn't shout. He radiates. At one place, mother says, my child will live in eternity. When somebody wanted to preserve her paintings and bring back, my child will live in eternity. And one place somebody asked, are you Avatar? He says, if I am an Avatar and the whole world denies it, it makes no difference. And if I am not and the whole world accepts it, it makes no difference. She says, the sun does not need an advertisement. Who advertises for the sun? Crows and the cocks. That's what I often say, our task is only of the crow. Sun is rising anyways. It's not that the crow makes the sun to rise. Sun is rising. All that the crow says, wake up, wake up, wake up, Sun is rising. So this gold god comes and his voice, sweet, secret murmur. He doesn't advertise. So it's not for everybody. It's for one person, two persons. Some people are touched. So secret murmur. And what does he say? Do you come now? Is the heart's fire ready? Do you come now? Is the heart's fire ready? He asked this question. Chaloge? Will you come with me? What is needed, sir? Money? Shall I keep my credit card? No, no, don't worry. Akshay Sampatti hai. So what do I need, sir? Do I need my qualifications? Of no use. So what about my family, my car? I have a Mercedes, sir. Can we come? I have got the boat for you. So what do I need, sir? Heart's fire. Do you have it in you? That's how modern language is, Do you have it in you? Heart's fire. The aspiration. Do you really aspire to become one with God? To be His companion? To be His friend? So He is asking us, will you be my friend? Will you come along with me? Heart's fire. Is it ready? Why, sir, it'll be wonderful. It's not so. Because the next moment He will say, come into the boat. And then the boat will start sailing away, leaving behind old familiar shores. So, the poet writes, for us, hidden in the recesses of the heart, something shuddered. God will take me along. Okay? So people very often speak of Buddha, leaving behind his wife and child, or Aurobindo leaving behind his wife. People don't realize what a tremendous fire it must be. That you're thinking about the suffering of humanity rather than only about your little family. So it means something is shuddering inside. Because though he is not saying this, it is implicit. As the mother says, when you come to the divine, you must be ready to hang with the thread of faith, with nothing else. Your family, your religion, your country, everything is there, the divine. That's all. So, hidden in the recesses of the heart, something shuddered. It recalled all that the life joy cherished. फिर मॉल का क्या होगा? मेरे नौकरी का, my job, I'll become so big man. What about my pot of porridge? I want to be a big man. If I go with God, people will say God's slave. Not realizing God's slave is Hercules. Herculi. That's God's slave. To be, Aurobindo's one aphorism, God's servant is something. God's slave is greater. There is a line in Savitri. Oh, beautiful slave of God. And the mother read it as, oh, powerful slave of God. And then she asked Aurobindo, why did I read it like this? And Aurobindo says, you read it correctly, but it is for the future. God's slave, Hanuman. So that's what but people will say. When Champaklalji said, I want to wash your dhotis, Aurobindo asked, are you sure? He said, yes. Why? People will mock at you. They will laugh at you. They will think that you're just a servant of God. He smiled and said, of course. And you'll be surprised. When I had read this, I thought, how can somebody say this? But I've actually read people write like that. Who was Champaklal? He was servant working for Sri Aurobindo. What does it mean, servant of the Lord? Is it something like a joke? Of course, we are from a tradition where we understand servant of God is Nandi and Hanuman are far beyond anything we can imagine. But here it recalled all that the life joy cherished. Image the felicity it must leave, lost forever. And the boat passed and the gold god vanished. God is a busy guy. There's a moment of time when the call comes. And if that moment is lost, there is a call and then one has to leap. If you lose that moment, it will come, but after long time, long preparation. Sometimes a very painful preparation. Read Eshadi's story. How, she went through so much of suffering eventually. If you miss the moment, it will come, but because unfolding of time, but it sometimes you have to go through a lot of pain. So in those in whom the call has not come, it's okay. But when the call of God comes, leap into the boat. Don't think, but That's where our problem is. So when he vanishes, because he's calculating that, what I will leave, nafa nuksan, all that, will be left behind, all the calculations of life. Now within the hollowness of the world's breast inhabits. So what has happened is now that's the whole last test of Sagar Manthan is Vishmohini or Amrit. The beauty is Vishmohini is also none else but the Lord. It is Hari who has become Vishmohini. So you want Vishmohini or you want Amrit. So this is the last test. Now within the hollowness of the world's breast inhabits. Why? Because without the Lord, everything is hollow. With the Lord, even the slightest movement becomes divine. For the love died and the old joy ended. What he did while he was going, you didn't come, okay, I know why you didn't come. It took away the joys and the love. Stole away. Now, God is gone, joy is gone, love is gone. The love died and the old joy ended. Void of a felicity that has fled, gone forever. It is the divine presence which gives value to everything. And if we barter anything at the cost of that divine presence, that's where we lose. Void of a felicity that has fled, gone forever. And the gold god and the dream boat come not. So this is the state of those who miss the call. When the call comes, jump into the bandwagon. What will happen later on, leave it to him. He will take you through all the various scenes, experiences. The whole creation is within him. Whole cosmos is within him. But take the call. So we'll read this and stop. The dream boat. Who was it that came to me in a boat made of dream fire, with his flame brow and his sun gold body? Melted was the silence into a sweet, secret murmur. Do you come now? Is the heart's fire ready? Hidden in the recesses of the heart, something shuddered. It recalled all that the life joy cherished. Imaged the felicity it must leave, lost forever. And the boat passed and the gold god vanished. This exactly again we see the story of Arjuna and Duryodhana making a choice. Krishna unarmed. And his whole entire army. Again, the same story. Sri Aurobindo says, choose Krishna unarmed. Still Kurukshetra will be there. Everything will be there. Whole creation will be there. But be with him. So don't leave his side. But for somebody like Duryodhana, what happens? He had a moment. Actually, he was the one who could have made the choice that I want you. Just imagine what he missed it all by one fraction of a moment. Entire people say Mahabharata would have changed if Karna went this side, Bhishma. Nothing. Mahabharata would have changed if Duryodhana chose Krishna. But look at it here. Now within the hollowness of the world's breast inhabits. For the love died and the old joy ended. The fate of those who leave the divine, who don't heed the call and go after only, continue with their old worldly pursuits. Void of a felicity that has fled, gone forever, and the gold god and the dream boat come not. Namaste.